What now after Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle have headed to the NFL? Well, we're going to talk about the Alabama wide receiving unit right here on BamaInsider.com. Please take a minute to hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We appreciate you more than you know. Leading off, returning for the Alabama wide receiving unit and leading the way is John Metchie. Metchie had a fantastic season in 2020 at 6 foot, 195 pounds. He returned as just a sophomore this year because of this blanket NCAA waiver rule. Metchie recorded 55 receptions for 916 yards and 6 touchdowns. I think everybody remembers the boom that he laid in the SEC title game against Florida. And I think overall, he's a very dynamic wide receiver that can continue that lineage of wide receivers that continue to excel and get to the next level for the University of Alabama. So John Metchie, certainly a guy that everybody's excited about returning. You also got Slade Bolden, 5'11", 191 pounds, and he enters as a redshirt sophomore. He has a lot of athleticism, and Slade Bolden got on the field plenty, 24 receptions for 270 yards. I want to get your take on Slade Bolden. Do you think he could be the guy to step up as a starter in 2021 for Alabama? Next up, we're talking about Xavier Williams, a guy that has been here for quite some time. He's been here for 3 seasons, hasn't seen a lot of playing time throughout those 3 seasons, but he did start to get on the field towards the end of the 2020 season. He even came in the national title game, 3 receptions for just 24 yards. A lot of people feel that Xavier Williams is kind of being slept on in this receiving unit, so let's continue to track his progress going into the 2021 season. Javon Baker, a lot of expectations on him coming in as a highly touted recruit, only played in 9 games out of 13, 2 receptions for just 15 yards. I think Alabama was trying to figure out how to utilize him, and I think they're going to figure it out. This is the bigger wide receiver that I think can be split outside or play the slot position. So I think Javon Baker is due for a very big spring. Thaiu Jones-Bell at 6 foot, 190 pounds, played a couple games this season for the Alabama, 3 to be exact. He had 1 reception for -2 yards, a freshman out of Florida. And like all these freshmen, I mean, there wasn't a lot of guys who got onto the field during their initial season at Alabama, but that's going to change because you know that guys need to step up. So be looking at some of these guys to have a breakout season. I want to get your thoughts in the comment box. Which freshman or sophomore do you feel is going to step up? Alabama needs some wide receivers to step up. You got Traeshon Holden. He's one of Alabama's bigger wide receivers, 6'3", 208 pounds. And over the last couple of years, Alabama hasn't really utilized a big wide receiver, right? I think this year was the first year that they went to Billingsley, who's not even a receiver, he's a tight end. But Traeshon Holden, as you can see, has some size at 6'3", 208 pounds. Didn't play a whole lot during the 2020 season, but he's a guy that I think maybe they can get creative with to get him the football. Played in just 5 games during the 2020 season. Now let's talk about some guys who are early enrolled at the University of Alabama. The Crimson Tide will bring in 4 signees from the class of 2021 that are wide receivers. You can read the entire scholarship breakdown back at BamaInsider.com. Jacorey Brooks comes in, and similar to Holden, he's got that size, 6'3", 180 pounds. A lot of people really excited about what he's bringing to the table out of the IMG Academy. I think overall, when you look at a player like Brooks, I think he's a guy that can create a lot of mismatches on the outside, can be that playmaker. And I think, as you can see, there's not a lot of wide receivers coming back with a lot of experience. So if Alabama can have one of these freshmen step up, don't be surprised if maybe 1 or 2 of these freshmen is seeing a lot of playing time during the springtime. I think there's going to be clearly a position battle at the wide receiving group all over the field. I think besides John Metchie, I think everybody's working to try to earn a starting spot. So that should be really, really fun to track during the springtime. Another early enrollee and another prospect out of the state of Florida. The Crimson Tide did a fantastic job going into the state of Florida. As you can see, Jeff Banks and Holman Wiggins helped land what could be the fastest player in the class of 2021 in Christian Leary. 4-star coming in with a lot of speed. You know that Devontae Smith is gone, Jalen Waddle's gone. So you're going to need some of those wide receivers to come in that have that quick twitch, and Christian Leary is certainly that guy. Don't be surprised if he's returning punts, kicks. He has a lot of explosive ability to really change the momentum of the game. And that's kind of the world that we live in right now of college football, is you need guys who can be the difference maker, guys that can change the momentum of the game. And Christian Leary is going to bring that to the University of Alabama. So if you're out there and you're a fan that likes kind of those lightning in the bottle type players, well, Christian Leary is certainly one of those guys. And as mentioned, he is already enrolled at the University of Alabama as of today, January 18th. Also enrolled in another wide receiver from the state of Florida is Agiye. People don't really know too much about Agiye. 6'2", 183 pounds. And what you can expect from Agiye is a very physical type player. We've seen a lot of film from him playing even on the defensive side of the ball. He likes to come up and make that big hit, but on the receiving side of the ball, he's a very good stock blocker. He's a very good wide receiver with some very good hands, and I think he has some underrated athleticism. Nick Saban talked about wide receivers and how he likes to recruit wide receivers. He likes to have his point guards, kind of the smaller guys, JoJo, Earle, who we'll talk about in just a second, Christian Leary, and then your power forward type guys who can, create mismatches, or guys who can simply block out on the perimeter. So Alabama did a fantastic job recruiting wide receivers to fulfill all their needs, whether they're bigger wide receivers or those speed guys. I'm personally really excited to see what Agiye can bring, because he's, from the film that I've seen, I've been really impressed with his overall ability and kind of just that size that he's bringing to the University of Alabama. The last wide receiver we're going to talk about in this video is JoJo Earle, who signed with Alabama on signing day in December. Now, out of the state of Texas, we talked to Rivals.com Texas analyst Sam Spiegelman, and he said that he has Jalen Waddle vibes. And you don't just throw that term around loosely. Jalen Waddle was certainly special, and JoJo Earle is certainly somebody who can make you miss. And we're excited to talk about him, and really excited to see what he can do kind of from that slot position. I think, over the course of the last couple of years, Alabama has done a fantastic job having a slot wide receiver that can create mismatches, that can really just make the crowd say, wow. And I think JoJo Earle is that guy. I think in this day and age, you need a wide receiver that you can get the football out to in the flats, that you can use in creative ways, whether that's screens or any type of ability to just get them the football. Kind of the more often they have the football, the better, because you know that player is just one big play away from either scoring a touchdown or making people miss or picking up the first down. And JoJo Earle is that guy. When you look to Alabama's roster, sure, they have John Metchie. They have a couple other guys who can make you miss, but they don't have a lot of shake. And that's why I like players like Christian Leary and JoJo Earle coming in with this class, because I think it really fits a void that Alabama doesn't have on the roster. I think you do have your bigger wide receivers that you can get to the outside, but I was really delighted to see Alabama make sure and go into the state of Texas to grab one more, that being JoJo Earle. I think overall, this guy has everything you want in terms of a playmaker, a guy that just has elite level speed, a guy that can see the field very well, and you can really be creative with him. I think they did a great job at the high school level, even giving him some opportunities at the wildcat position, because let's face it, the more times that your best athlete on the field has a football, the more times that good things are going to happen. So I'm not saying he's going to come here and be a wildcat quarterback or anything like that. I'm just saying you can be creative enough, because he has that shift, that next level gear to make you miss, to make big plays happen. And I love the overall speed, the top end speed of JoJo Earle, and his ability to make people miss and then to hit that acceleration gear is really going to be fun to watch at the next level. As always, we want to hear from you inside the comment box. Which wide receivers do you feel are going to step up along with John Metchie this year in 2021? Sound off in the comment box. There's plenty of wide receivers to choose from, including some very, very talented freshman wide receivers that have already enrolled or that will be arriving in the summertime. Hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you soon back at BamaInsider.com.